All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple mediums in which you can interact with this content. But my favorite way, and the best way in my opinion, is to go to the blog so you can follow along with me. Now, I don't have anything fun today, no videos, no, anything like that, just a lot of information. But to get to the blog, which is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. However, that's a lot to remember or type in, so you can just look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Activate that, and another box may open, or it already may be there. It'll either say link to my FX Buddies, or the link will be there, HTTPS, blah, 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 right? You click on that and you are at the blog, the free blog. You don't have to put your email in, and I don't charge anything, and I'm not selling anything. It's just the articles and the videos. I put the video there, but usually like 15-20 minutes later. All right, I want to say thank you. I did it again. Fabulous. I can't check here. I don't want to say her name, but I think it's Fabulous Jewelry Boutique, a sponsor. And, I don't know if I can say, there was another person, but I don't know if I can say their name. But you know who you are. You contacted me in Facebook. All right. So we'll get to it. Thank you. All right. It's Sunday, and I knew there was going to be a lot of news. Now, it's not anything really exciting. Well, and it's hard to get excited anymore, right? When we're basically just waiting for the rate change, right? But anyway, it's good. It's all good. It's, so we'll just get into it. Okay, so I called this Iraq turns to AI to reshape Iraq's economy. That is not good. You see that? You're not supposed to use the same word twice like that. So I have to change that. See, I still hear my mother's voice correcting my English. Anyway, this is the actual, if you go to the article, this is the title. Introducing Artificial Intelligence to Track Market Changes. They're already thinking about using AI to track things. Okay? The latest global technologies to develop business practices. Like, really? You haven't changed your rate. You don't have your global standard security feature money out, right? The 25K notes are pretty, I will admit, especially the 50K note. If you've never seen a 50K note in person, it has so much stuff on it. The strip, windows, market, watermarks. Man. So we don't really need the lower denominations because we can't use them here, but I sure would like to see what kind of, things they have on them, what kind of security features they'll have on them. But anyway, so the department, and look, this is even different. It's not a ministry. It's the Competition and Antitrust Council. Intends to introduce digital transformation and artificial intelligence to track market changes and developments, serving plans to adopt the latest global technologies to develop business practices. The council also revealed its intention to increase fines for violating companies to be proportional to price changes. So, of course, it's all for the customer, right? Yeah. So, they told the news the council intends to introduce digital transformation and artificial intelligence technologies to track market shifts and changes. It also intends to bring in experts to train its staff on this technology. And they already have a law. Look at that. A competition law, number 14 of 2010. All right, so it talks about that. Yeah, so there's more about the penalties. And I think that's it. You could read that if you'd like. But of course, it's all done to ensure citizens' rights to choose an alternative and receive better services. So I'm like, do we have something like that? I don't know, probably, right? But there they are, doing it. Okay, economic program. Look, his name didn't come again. I don't know why. Whatever. His name is Yasser or something. All right. It says planners rely on real figures. I like that, right? Planners rely on real figures to build their future plans, whether annual, 5-year, or strategic. To simplify, the annual plan lasts 1 year. The medium-term plan lasts 5 years, and the final strategic plan lasts from 20 years onward. The government program is an accurate translation of the contents and objectives of the plan as a whole. How? Constitutionally, the term of any government formed during elections is limited to 4 years. Here, the government program must be designed in accordance with what was outlined in the plans. So, if they got plans that go 20 years out, and governments only form every 4 years, that's 5 governments, right? So how does that work? Plus, can you imagine this world 20 years from now? Whew. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting that it says real numbers, because we know, I said that in yesterday's episode, and if you didn't catch yesterday's episode, no worries. Stay to the end of this one. A little box pops up. You can click on it, tap it, whatever, and yesterday's episode will play. And you can thumbs up this one. You can thumbs up that one. Look, you will have done 2 good deeds in 1 day. When do you get a chance to say that? I'm just kidding. Anyway, so let's see. Here he gave him some props. That Sudani did the census. Because, yeah, I think that was off 2 years. But in, what's his name? Kazemi's defense, he was a caretaker government, and there were certain things he couldn't do. But now that Sudani's government is an actual full-fledged government, he got it done. And I think even that, they tried to sabotage that. The people who, interfere with him. So let's see. The next government program will be based on plans with precise figures. Will it now? Where are they going to get those precise figures from? And the results and solutions will be close to being accurate. The figure achieved from the 2025 census will remain the foundation upon which future plans are built and in light of which government programs are designed. So there you go. They're talking about the people. But I think, well, actually, I could have posted this, but like I said, there's enough here. There's like 20 articles here, I think. They have an article in, I don't remember the year, but they already know in so many years, 45% of the women that are childbearing age in Iraq are not going to have children. So that's not good by choice. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are, because of all the things they're doing to us, infertility is becoming an issue around the world, right? So everyone is looking at, I think, if we count only the natural born Americans, we're not at the right, I think it's attrition. Is it the attrition? Whatever. They have a name for the number of how you keep your society alive. There's so many kids you have to have. Each generation has to have so many kids. Or that's it. Like Japan is borderline. Japan is really in trouble because they're not having enough kids. So, yeah, but since we have not natural born citizens that on average have 4 to 7 kids, we're going to be okay here, right? It just won't be natural born Americans, but whatever, it is what it is, right? Alrighty, so let's see. Okay, here. So they're back to work. Even though Sudani extended the holiday, they are working. And they made sure they put this meeting right here. They're running it like sometimes they do a 2-3 minute news. That's my phone. News blurb in between programs. And this is one of the meetings they show. And look who's here. So this is a pretty big meeting. Aaliyah Locke is here and Miss Sammy is here. So they're definitely talking about money. They got papers. I don't know what that is. But so, they're trying to make it look like they're doing work. But it is Sudani directs the acceleration of financing industrial projects and support for national investment. But I thought this was... No, it's not. I thought it was the development something or another. So this is just a meeting. Okay. I like this. I think this is good. Anytime we see the word acceleration, I think that's a good thing, right? So it was Sunday today to expedite industrial loan transactions and support economically feasible investment projects. He emphasized the importance of enhancing coordination between the Ministry of Finance, the central bank, and government banks. Okay, so maybe those other people there are heads of the government banks. To streamline financing procedures and ensure fairness and transparency, which I'm pretty sure they have to now because Oliver Wyman or K2I, someone is looking over there, auditing the documents and stuff. So during the meeting, the progress was reviewed in implementing the industrial initiative, a key pillar of the government's development support policy. Yeah. So all that stuff. And then there's other loans for small and medium enterprises. Ooh, that is big. Look at that. So here's moving on to another article. Iraq's gold reserves surged to 163 tons. Have you seen gold? 3,900. Could even be 4,000. It could even be 4,000 right now. But I didn't have it. I wanted to have it open, but I didn't have it open. So, check that out. All right. Let's see. So, yeah. So, their gold is up. But then, so they have the 29th largest gold reserves globally and 4th in the Arab world, according to the World Gold Council. All right. Let's see. But then we have this. Their foreign reserves fell to 58%, but I'm certain it means the dollar. Right? Because that was in the picture. And when they say foreign reserves, it's usually the dollar. All right? And that's because I think they're using the dollars. I think they're using the dollars, but I can't prove it. All right, so this came out yesterday. Oh my gosh, look, we're almost at 15 minutes. This came out yesterday, but I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't, my reading comprehension, right? And I didn't feel comfortable enough to talk about it. So, smuggling dollars under the guise of gold is pushing the cost of gold. Really, that's what that word there, I think, means. And I don't know why it didn't translate, but toward 1 million. And popular concern is growing about the collapse of purchasing power. Because, see, they do, like, in Kurdistan, gold is one amount. And in Iraq, it's another amount. And there are people calling to fix that, but, whatever. So, the smart people are using gold to smuggle. And who is it? So, the gold for jewelry has a very strict pathway it has to go through, and it's looked at and tested. But gold for like money, right? Or just whatever, I don't know what you call it, gold that you hold, I guess, is not. So there's been a recent increase in gold imports from the UAE and Turkey. So they think that indicates dollar smuggling, which will affect the parallel market, which will affect the purchasing power of the people. So the people are worried about it, as usual, right? So, yeah. So, now, there were 6 operations carried out in recent months, represent qualitative strikes against hard currency smuggling mafias in Iraq, and they have borne fruit. However, smuggling has not ended yet, and efforts are ongoing to end it. Yeah. So then there's more here if you want to read that. All right. So a big news story. Iran removes 4 zeros from its currency. It's the same 4 zeros. I still don't think it's happened yet, because it seems to be saying it has to go through this Guardian Council. See, it says it is noteworthy that the law removing zeros also requires the approval of the Guardian Council before it comes into effect. But also at the same time, there's another article that says 1 toman is 10 reals, but I don't know if that's different or not. I don't follow it that closely. And then here, this guy who is, here's another title for him, International Transportation Consultant. He talks about them removing zeros is an attempt to mitigate the effects of the significant collapse in their currency. And why is that collapsing? Because of the sanctions. So he has a different take on it. He says it doesn't mean anything. It's just a temporary psychological impact, because other things need to happen. They need to change their rate. They need to fix their... Why is all that space there? I'll have to correct that. They need to... the inflation is extremely high, and there's something else. The citizens don't trust. I think last week there was an article where they were prohibiting them from... and you see, even Bitcoin, that's my phone, even Bitcoin broke a record, right? It went over 125K. So yeah, Iran, they're trying everything they can. Alrighty. If you'd like to support my Epics Buddies, which is me, myself, and I don't have a team, I don't have boots on the ground, I don't have connections over there. It's just me and the articles, right? Buy me a coffee will be a live link when the blog is live. Cash App is always live, and PayPal as well. Cash App is $Tishwash, and PayPal is just Tishwash. Big or small, I appreciate it all, and I thank you in advance for your generosity. Okay, we're going to skip this about the salaries. The salaries seem to be coming along. Baghdad's paying on time. The Kurdistan region, they got July, and it looks like they're getting ready to get August and September. There's an article here that says the Kurds are ready to send like 48 trillion or billion dinars to Iraq. That's their portion of the non-oil revenue. So the Kurds are like, we're doing our part. You better do your part. So yeah. So here's the guy. I think it's a guy. It's usually a guy, right? Yeah, Nabil Marsami. You know what? I might have talked about this yesterday, but it's in the news again today. Yeah, okay, so I think the longer article was yesterday, but it's in the news again today. So he's saying, hey, you need non-oil revenue charge for all this tourism that we do. And dirhams, he listed it in dirhams. So yeah, all right. Following, okay, this is one I wanted to cover. Following previous U.S. threats, Iraq's Rafidan Bank closes its branches in Sana'a. Is that how you say that? I don't know. But so first I got all excited and I was like, oh yes, this is from the audit, but it's not. It's a branch that I guess has over and over been busted for funding groups that should not be funded, right? See that name right there? Starts with an H. Yeah. So they are being shut down from pressure from you know who. Okay, what's this? Look at this. An embassy, so a Iraqi embassy in Jordan celebrated the National Day. And I was like, who else around the world? Where else around the world did they celebrate it? So I just had that there. I thought that was interesting. Here's an article. Iraqi parliament to continue work through election period. A lawmaker is saying. So I don't know if there was talk back and forth. No, they can work. Yes, they can. It prompted whatever. See the name right there? Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but came out and said that they can work until January 8th. Through January 8th. That's their term. That's when they're supposed to work. And then he breaks down the representatives and all the, all these things here. But I was happy to see that. And then, recession alert, 2025 budget deadlock threatens Iraq. So there's another article, right? Parliament's like, shame on you. You didn't get us the budget. But we know why, right? So, threat of recession, policy shortcomings. Here they're talking about, okay, and you know what? Let's talk about oil for a minute. The budget was approved based on $70 per barrel of oil, but prices have fallen below $65. So do you see there? Oil is not priced in dinar. So I hear people, and I know I'm not educated, whatever, but it doesn't make sense to me that people keep saying they can't be doing that with oil at $13.20. Yes, they can, because they're not. They've told us it's $16 to transport it, $16 per barrel in Kurdistan, right? DNO said they're going to sell it. They're going to sell the oil for $30, I think. So oil in Iraq is priced in dollars. So the CBI rate has nothing to do right? I mean, here, it says right there in black and white, it's $70 per barrel because oil is priced in dollars in Iraq anyway, still to this day. So I don't understand that. That's just me and, whatever. But see, salaries still flow. We're not even halfway. We might be almost done. Here's the one where I was saying they're preparing the dinars, the 48 billion dinars to send. But they're not going to send it until Baghdad requests it. All right. Okay, so this was the other, remember a day or two ago, I was like, they're getting ready to have another convention in Iraq. And there it is, launch of World Investor Week conference. So yeah, come on in, world. And we're going to have the same kind of talk we had last year. Look what we're going to do. Our plans are this, right? And it's the 21st anniversary of the establishment of the Securities Commission. So they had the guy's picture up there But anyway, so the slogan for this year's conference, Towards an Advanced Financial Market, Iraq's Economic Vision 2030. Look at that nice globalist number, 2030. All right, you should look up Agenda 2030. All right, so you can read all of that if you'd like. Here's some of the things they covered. A comprehensive plan to support small and medium-sized enterprises in cooperation with the central bank. Nothing new there. But remember, I always say they not only do they get jobs, they very heavily push the young people to open businesses. The Securities Commission, there he is. That's the guy. So you see the 21 there, and there he is speaking. Thoughtful reforms to boost investor confidence and keep pace with global developments. And there's one more. See, he's over the stock exchange. Right? And they want, he's already done, he's done a lot. And I think he's only been there 2 years. But he has plans for so much more. And when you read that, they want to enhance investor confidence, global developments. It's all everywhere. They want to get up to international standards, global developments, strengthen their position. Oh yeah, see, strengthening Iraq's position on the global financial and investment map. Let us move forward together toward a strong financial Iraq that will enhance investor confidence and support the nation's economy, i.e. the nation's money, right? And then here is, I think, Mohammed Saleh. Yes, Mohammed Saleh spoke. There he is. And he spoke on new agreements to modernize the Iraqi market, enhance transparency, and attract investors. And he may have touched on... no, one of them touched on AI, but it wasn't him. Okay, so... but he talks about their vision without action remains just a dream, and an action without vision is a waste of time. So they're probably like, yeah, tell us something we don't know. We've been here before. We were here last year hoping we could, get our contracts in. But yeah, so that's why I said it's all good. It's all good. And then here's another guy. I need to cough. I don't want to pause though, but I'm going to. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm back. So here, this guy, whoever he is, somebody, Jamal. Today we celebrate these steps and reaffirm our commitment to continuing our work, enhancing transparency, developing the technological environment, and expanding the list of investors to serve the Iraqi economy and achieve everyone's aspirations. Yeah, so I think they only have like 36. Okay, I'll say I don't think they have more than 50 stocks on their stock market, and not all of those trade regularly. Okay. All right, so this is long if you want to read it. See, fostering a stable and attractive investment environment. All right, let's skip that. Okay, so here, if they can get this ceasefire done, it would be great, but we're still waiting. And so today, things popped up. This is about the strip, right? So this is Rubio. They have an article, I guess, maybe he spoke somewhere. And then there's supposed to be another group meeting. Let's see, I think it's here. Yeah. Ice Cream Land and Ham delegations are scheduled to meet tomorrow. But I was saying that now articles are popping up of Ham saying, we didn't agree to that. We didn't say we would continue something. Well, I know they don't want to give up their pew-pews. See, lay down the pew-pews, right? Yeah. So it's gonna be rough. If they can get it done, it's gonna be rough, right? So, yeah. But it still seems to be positive. So I'll just say that. The two, Iraq and their neighbor, exchanged, the 3-letter word that I don't like to say for conflict. Okay? And the bones of those who didn't survive. And these go all the way back to the 80s. And they had this ceremony. There's 15 more pictures of this. But I mean, for us, we're not tied to those people, right? So I didn't put them there, but there is. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but whatever, that's enough. And it's over 30 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I already know there was more that I could have talked about, so I already know I'm going to post tomorrow, and it will be the same time as normal, right? Ooh, this is not going to make it. Spotify, you will get this dated October 5th. YouTube, this will be dated October 6th. But this was the news, Iraqi news that I choose to focus on for Sunday, October 5th. I thank you for listening. Stay in there. I know it seems like we're stuck. We might be stuck, but let's stay. Let's stay together like Al Green sings, right? All right. It helps me a lot when you hit the thumbs up button and accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. There's something else. I can't think of the other thing. But anyway, I do appreciate you listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until tomorrow.